We're counting down the 10 Muslim-majority countries where the most extraordinary waves of conversions to Christianity are happening right now. From places where apostasy means instant death to others where secret baptisms defy government crackdowns, each entry reveals staggering numbers and even bigger risks. Let's begin the countdown, starting with number 10. In Iraq, the aftermath of ISIS unleashed a wave of conversions few expected. More than 5,000 Muslims have turned to Christianity since the early 2000s, many after witnessing the horrors of genocide and brutality. The violence that emptied villages and destroyed ancient churches also led to something new. 14 new churches have opened in Baghdad alone, and in Kurdistan, gatherings of 500 to 800 worshippers are not uncommon. One convert said that after witnessing ISIS brutality, they became skeptical about Islam and discovered that Christianity was the religion they were searching for. Even as persecution rages, courage grows. Afghanistan's Christian movement survives in absolute secrecy. In 2001, only 17 Afghan Muslims were known to have become Christians. Now, more than 10,000 worship in hidden rooms and basements, never in the same place twice. Every gathering is arranged by encrypted messages, and every face is a risk. Under Taliban law, leaving Islam means automatic death, no exceptions, no appeals. Families enforce the code with honor killings, seeing conversion as betrayal. Yet, the underground network grows, mapping itself through whispers and trusted contacts. In a country where even a Bible can cost a life, this is the largest proportional jump in Christian converts anywhere in the Muslim world. In Morocco, the law never forgets a name or a faith. Every citizen's identity card is stamped with Islam, a label the government refuses to change, no matter what a person believes. Even the king holds the title Commander of the Faithful, reinforcing the country's 99% Muslim identity. Yet estimates say between 20,000 and 45,000 Moroccans have become Christians, gathering in secret and baptizing new believers on rooftops under the cover of night. Requests to alter religious status on official documents are quietly denied. Those caught sharing their faith risk arrest, police interrogation, and sometimes violence from their own families. In this kingdom, faith must hide in plain sight. Algeria's northern mountains echo with hymns in a language older than the state itself. In the Kabili region, nearly 380,000 Muslims have become Christians since 1992, forming the largest revival in North Africa. The government has responded with force, reducing the number of legal Protestant churches from 47 to just 4. Padlocks and police orders seal the doors, but worship continues, sometimes on hillsides, sometimes behind shuttered storefronts. Pastors face detention for handing out Bibles or even holding a prayer meeting. Confiscated scripture fills police evidence rooms. Yet each closure seems to draw more people, not fewer. In Kabili, faith spreads through family networks and whispered invitations, defying every attempt to stamp it out. The state clamps down, but the movement only grows larger, one quiet gathering at a time. In Ethiopia, the price of conversion is often measured in silence and empty chairs. Around 400,000 Muslims have chosen Christianity since the early 1970s, but few celebrate openly. Here the threat rarely comes from police or government raids. Instead, it arrives at home, a father who locks the door, a mother who turns away, a village that vanishes overnight from your life. Many converts are disowned, cut off from family, inheritance, and even the right to bury their dead among relatives. Whole districts in the east and south are known for driving out those who leave Islam, sometimes with threats or scattered violence, but more often with a cold erasure. Relief agencies report that most Ethiopian converts describe their baptism as the moment their old life ended, not just spiritually, but socially. For them, faith means stepping into a new world, leaving everything familiar behind. In Nigeria, the cost of leaving Islam is measured in blood and ashes. Boko Haram and Fulani militants have turned entire regions into killing fields, burning churches and wiping out villages suspected of harboring Christians. Yet estimates count around 600,000 Muslims who have chosen Christianity in the last half-century. In 2021 alone, Nigeria accounted for the vast majority of Christian deaths worldwide. Some reports claim as high as 80% of all Christian martyrs that year were Nigerian. Converts often flee for their lives, baptizing each other in muddy rivers at refugee camps after their homes are destroyed. Whole families disappear overnight, either killed or forced to escape with nothing but their faith. Despite the relentless violence, the church keeps growing, fed by the courage of those who know the risks and step forward anyway. In 1979, as Iran's Islamic Revolution swept away the old order, only about 500 Muslims in the country were known to have become Christians. 4 decades later, that number has exploded past 1 million. Today, Iranian Christians gather in secret, their meetings scattered across living rooms and hidden spaces from Tehran to Shiraz. The government's response has been relentless. Sharia courts use blasphemy and apostasy charges to imprison, torture, or pressure converts to recant. Changing your religion on an official document is impossible. Yet the movement keeps spreading, fueled by TV broadcasts and digital discipleship that reach behind closed doors. Arrest records show hundreds detained for possessing Bibles or attending underground gatherings. Despite the threat of prison or worse, new believers risk everything to join these fellowships. In a nation where the regime tries to erase dissent, the underground church has become the fastest growing in the Muslim world. In Egypt, the numbers remain hidden behind official silence and a fog of fear. The government refuses to record or release any data on Muslims who leave Islam, making it impossible to know the true scale. Coptic church leaders quietly speak of millions who have found their way to Christianity, but no registry exists. Only the stories passed through families and whispered in church halls. The years of Muslim Brotherhood rule brought a wave of violence against Christians, with burned churches and street mobs. Some Coptic bishops called that era the Great Evangelist, for how it drove disillusioned Muslims to seek answers elsewhere. Beneath the surface, another crisis unfolds. Human rights groups and church advocates claim that up to 1,000 Christian girls vanish each year, abducted and forced into Islamic marriages, their families left to mourn in silence. Converts face not just police scrutiny, but threats from their own relatives, and in many cases violence meant to erase their new faith. The numbers may be uncounted, but the cost is written into daily life. Every missing daughter, every secret baptism, every family torn in two. Sudan stands at the edge of catastrophe, yet its underground church movement is one of the largest anywhere. Since the early 1990s, advocacy reports estimate that up to 5 million Muslims have become Christians, over 1 million since 2000 alone. These conversions have unfolded in the shadow of war, with more than 200,000 killed during the government's campaign against its own people. For years, apostasy meant an automatic death sentence. And even after the law was repealed in 2020, the threat of violence from militias and families remains. With churches burned and pastors hunted, believers have adapted, holding seminary classes in hidden caves, especially in the embattled Nuba Mountains. Here, thousands of new pastors have trained by lantern light, their lessons echoing through stone corridors while battles rage above. The civil war has scattered entire congregations, but the faith survives underground, growing quietly where the world cannot see, and where the cost of belief is measured in exile, hunger, and fear. Indonesia stands as the world's largest Muslim-majority nation, with a population nearing 230 million and 93% identifying as Muslim. Yet beneath the surface, an estimated 6.5 million people have left Islam for Christianity since 1962, a number unmatched anywhere else in the Muslim world. The government's official records show little change, but Church Federation archives and independent surveys point to a quiet upheaval. Apartment blocks in Jakarta and Surabaya have become unlikely sanctuaries, where entire floors are rented out to host worship clusters behind locked doors. Authorities routinely deny permits for new churches, and closures make headlines every year, but the gatherings continue, moving from one address to another. Secret networks link believers across islands, with worship songs echoing through thin walls late at night. For many, the price is steep: family rejection, loss of inheritance, and the constant threat of exposure. Yet the movement grows, driven by underground networks that refuse to die. In Indonesia, the paradox is clear. Persecution has not stopped the spread. It has only driven the faith deeper, making this the largest conversion movement ever recorded in a Muslim-majority country. Across all 10 nations, the pattern is clear. Persecution breeds conviction, not silence. When faith costs everything, its appeal grows, not shrinks. The greatest threat to any ideology is not an outside attack, but what people witness within. For millions, the search for truth outweighs even the risk of death.